a gig over there or something like that. And so we'd have world-class performers at our place, and we were described as the biggest kept secret in Kaimuki, which is the area of Honolulu that we live in. But several years before COVID came, my mom had passed away, and the house ownership, the trust, it was in a trust, the trust dissolved upon my mom's death, and my brother and I became co-owners, but he had not been living here since the early 70s, and so he's in Texas now. He demanded I buy him out. So I had to take out a mortgage in order to do that. And that was the impetus for closing down Ward's Rafters. But we have great memories, and I still get messages on a regular basis. Say, I wish we still had that going on. We could do that, some more. My personal background as a naturopathic doctor. I grew up in Europe, actually, 15 years over there, and came back to America as a stranger in my own land because I had no connection with the culture or anything about the America that I had left as a one-year-old baby. So it took some getting used to, but I had always been interested in the holistic approach to life. And because my mom's dad, my grandpa, lived with us in Prague for a few years, and he was, besides an early bird, which are the people that built and flew their own airplanes just a couple years after the Wright brothers, was also an inventor and what I call one of the original health nuts. He would give me, he gave me a dictionary, a medical dictionary on health matters. And I swear there was more annotated by his, writing in the margins on the sides. There was more annotation than was actual text in the book. And he would always say, this is wrong, that's, you shouldn't listen to that, this, make corrections and so on. So that was the bug that was planted in awareness that later became the seeds for me enrolling at the naturopathic school in Portland, Oregon, and obtaining my degree in naturopathic medicine, and then opening up my private practice. But all along, there was this evolution of this holistic approach to health and life. And after I retired from naturopathic medicine, I decided what I've observed was a lot of people would come to me, well, not a lot, but oftentimes people would come to me for whatever healing sessions that they were, issues that we're dealing with. And I would do a diagnosis, help them say, okay, here's your program, this is what you need to do, and it should help you get well again. And then a few weeks later, they come back for a follow-up, and I'd ask them, well, how's it going? What are you doing? And they say, oh, I didn't do anything. And I say, how come? I don't know. And so I started digging, and it would turn out that they had hidden issues, beliefs that were keeping them from doing the things that they knew would help them get well. A classic example, especially with workman's compensation cases, where somebody gets injured on the job, for example. I remember one patient who came to me and said, after several weeks of frustration on my part, I said, this should be working. How come it's not working? He said, well, I really enjoy getting paid and not having to work. And that was he was literally self-sabotaging his own healing journey. And so I had to deal with that. And I saw other cases of people, like someone came to me once with, he'd been pronounced with terminal cancer, given just a couple months to live. He was a actually well-known writer. And the doctor advised him, just conserve your energy, don't do anything strenuous, take it easy, so you can last as long as you can. And the man says, well, if I'm gonna die in a couple of months, I want to spend it doing what I love to do the most. And he went to work, he started a diary. And he finally passed away about 20 years later. So the message there to me was that the idea of a terminal cancer pronouncement is only an idea. And just like someone can come up with a terminal cancer pronouncement, you can also come up with a terminal cancer relapse or undoing. Just as you can create a belief, you can also undo a belief. And that got me going into a second career of training to be a coach, coaching people in digging up, feeling, discovering their hidden beliefs, their what I call the blind spots in their lives that cause them to avoid going towards what they want and instead ending up going towards what they don't want. And in talking with people and dealing with people, I've discovered again and again that the majority of time people spend thinking about what they don't want. Now, I just found out about this organization a few hours ago when, what's their name, Emily Gomer sent me the link. And so, so that's the name of the network, because I had no idea who you guys were or what you were about. So I quickly got online and finally found some YouTube channels that have recordings of previous podcasts. So when I started coaching people, one of the first coaches, a lady who was actually on our email list, the Words Rafters list, for that I'd send out invitations to, contacted me and says, I have a 9-year-old daughter who's been diagnosed with autism. She's been acting out in the class, and she's been kicked out of her classroom, and she's in trouble, and we need your help. And she had reached out to me because she knew that I had my own daughter who was cerebral palsy, quadriplegic, nonverbal, who, by the way, just celebrated her 33rd birthday yesterday. So we had a great celebration at the daycare that she spends the day in, and then at home, and I brought her home, and then when I took her over to her mom's place, she had a third celebration of her birthday. So she was really stoked about that. But so I said, okay, bring your daughter in. So I started talking with this girl, and I realized that there's a spirit here. There's a spunky little girl, third grader, 9-year-old, and there's something hidden here that nobody's discerned before. So I says, you know what? How about if we take away that label? How about if we just take it away? Like, you're not autistic. Would that be okay? And she said, yeah, okay. So we started digging in and started leading her through exercises and finding what lights her up, what her motivations are, and finding out what her fears are, and digging up her underlying beliefs. And pretty soon she started playing with the exercise, and then she'd come back next session. We were meeting like weekly, and she would be all excited and enthusiastic about what she's discovering about herself. And we worked for about 3 months, and last I heard, I spoke with the mom, or communicated with her actually by email, about earlier this year. And her daughter is a thriving 5th grader, doing great in class, near the top of her class, and no more issues, no more nothing, and certainly no more autism. So, which brings me to another realization, and that is implied by the very name of this podcast. I have discovered that there is no such thing as disability. And to me, it is a very misleading term that does more harm than it helps. And the reason I say that is because you've heard a term, whatever you pay attention to is what you are moving towards, or some people say what you're thinking about, you attract. What you place most of your attention on, or the energy of your creativity, is what you actually bring about and create. And so I never use the term disability because I want me and those that I speak with to think in terms of abilities, not disabilities. There's no such thing as a disability. There's only abilities. And we all have different abilities in different manners, different ways. Just like in the universe, there's no such thing as darkness. There's only how much light there is. If there's a lot of light, we say it's bright. If there's a little light, we say it's dark, but it's still only a description of how much light. And the same thing with heat. There's no such thing as cold. There's only how much heat there is. If there's a lot of heat, we say it's hot. If there's a little heat, we say it's cold. But it's still only talking about heat. It's not there's no such thing as cold. There's no such thing as darkness. And the same thing can be applied to, there's no such thing as anger or hatred. There's only how much love there is. If there's lots of love, then we feel joyful, we feel engaged, we feel integrated, we feel in love. And if there's less love, then we may see there's irritation or anger, or if there's no love at all, we may say there's a total apathy, but it's still a description of how much love there is. And if we accept the holistic viewpoint that there really is there's only love and light, loving light, and everything else is illusion, then it simplifies everything how we look at life. Because then we can keep our focus on what we know is true and keep ourselves from focusing on what we realize is not true, is only an illusion that is created by this illusion of self separate from others, rather than the holistic view of we are all part of one whole. That's what holistic means. And I often remind people that the word health and the word healing and heal all have the same root. If you look up the etymology, you'll see it all comes from the root of to be whole. So someone who is healthy is a whole person. And intuitively, we can realize that too. For example, when you cut your hand, and how does it heal? Well, the wound becomes whole again. It comes together. And there's another term that is also related and directly derived from the word whole, and that is the word holy. A person who is holy is a person who's just a bit more whole than the average person, as if there is such a thing. There's no average person either. There's just unique aspects of one whole, depending on which aspect of the whole you view or integrate or interact with. So my message is one of wholeness, of healing, and a message of possibility. And that we, as beings who are not separate from the whole, and therefore one with the universe, or one with nature, or one with the Great Spirit, or one with God, those are just all words. And every word is just a symbol, a representation of some thought. Which means that every thought that we think has no reality to it either. It's just a representation of some experience. When you say the word apple, and someone else says the word apple, you assume that you're talking about the same thing, but you're not. When I say the word apple, I'm thinking of all the experiences I've had of my entire life and all my lifetimes and life, experiences that have to do with this thing called the apple. And somebody else has totally different experiences with the same word. There's no commonality there. We pretend that we're talking about the same thing, but we're not. And so the only possible conclusion from all of this is that if you want to be whole, you have to let go of anything that separates you. And that means thinking. And any thought that you identify with, we call a belief. And so beliefs are just representations that you identify with, but you are not a representation. Just like you take a map of a city, no matter how detailed that map is, it's never going to be the actual city. It's just a representation. And we think that our thoughts are real, but they're only representations, and no representation is ever the thing that it represents. When we keep that in mind, then the only thing for us to do, if we want to be true to ourselves, to our true selves, we have to learn to be present. And to be present, we need to learn how to be still. You know, if you're religious, there's a quote in the Bible that says, "Be still and know the truth." That's the recipe. And it's the biggest challenge that every human being ever faces, including myself. And that's the big, big thing that I help people with. Helping them be still. Because when you look at your mind, you listen to your mind, you notice there's a constant chatter, a yammering. Thinking about this, thinking about that, afraid of that, worried about this, concerned about that. What's for lunch? What's this? You know, isn't that pretty? Isn't that ugly? Oh, I'd never, oh, I couldn't. That's not, I'm not enough. There isn't enough. I don't belong. Blah, 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 blah. 90% of the time, 99% of the time, there's yammering going on. Even when we're sleeping, in our dreams, we're yammering. There's hardly ever a moment where there's not yammering going on. And that means your attention is fully on representations, not on your true self. So if you want to bring about healing, the first step is to become present. And how do you become present? Well, there are certain things that grab your attention, and we can use that to our advantage. There's one thing, above all, that grabs our attention more than anything else. And that is your breath. Why? Well, because you know you can go without food for a month or more. You would survive. You can go without water for a week or two. You'd survive. But without a breath, we know that within 7 minutes, your brain is dead. Or certainly dying. Okay? I think the champion freediver can hold his breath for maybe a little over 6 minutes. That's about it. That's right at the edge of being dead. Most people are lucky if they hold their breath for 1 minute. So you learn to focus on breathing. You put your attention fully on your breath. And if a thought comes by, you say, not now. Bring your attention back to breath. And there's literally hundreds of methods of breath. If you go to any kind of yoga training, put that all aside. It doesn't matter. Just do a basic breath. Breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. Without trying to hold it, without trying to force it, and make sure that you're breathing like you breathed when you were a baby. If you watch a baby breathing, especially when they're on their back, what do you see? You see the belly going up and down, belly up and down, yeah? Because the breath goes into the lungs expand, and they push down the diaphragm, is actually pushing down into the guts, and that pushing into the guts is what makes the belly go up. And then the reverse, the belly goes down, breath goes out of the lungs, yeah? So that means your abdomen is relaxed. Why is that important? Because the abdomen is one of the main places where we hold our stress, along with the shoulders and the jaws, and really it could be anywhere in the body, but those are the most common places, especially the abdomen, right? your solar plexus area and around your belly button, but especially solar plexus, the place of our sense of identity, our inner power. We tend to hold down and protect ourselves because we don't feel safe. And so the first step towards becoming present is to practice breathing fully with your belly so that you can feel safe. And when you feel safe, then you can open up, you can be vulnerable. And when you open up and vulnerable, you allow growth to happen. Because as long as you're holding on in a shell around yourself, you cannot grow. You're holding yourself back. At least the self that you believe you are, with your thoughts and your beliefs, this limited bag of flesh and bone that you've convinced yourself is who you are. But if you've ever experienced not thinking for a moment, and I bet that everyone in this audience has had that experience, those moments of overwhelming beauty, where you look at a sunset and you go, wow. Or the moments of overwhelming love, where your heart just opens up and you just feel this flood of love flowing through you. You notice that in those moments, you forget who you are. There's no thinking. There's not even any feel. There's just a feeling of love, nothing else. Yeah. No other irritation or limitation. Also, for those of us who are artistically inclined, like I'm also a musician, and there have been moments too rare to my liking, but when I play, one of my instruments is the classical guitar or the Middle Eastern oud, and I may play an improvisation and then go, wow, where did that come from? It's like this creative flow came through me and I wasn't even there. I was just observing. Those are the moments of being present. And that is what you are aspiring to reach as an experience. Interesting, the word aspire literally means to breathe towards, aspire, or to lead your spirit towards, yeah. So breathing is the first step to becoming present. And you just feel the breath filling up, feeling. And then you put your attention on your body and feel whatever feelings are there to be felt without thinking about them, without analyzing them, without judging them, without describing them, without naming them. Because there's this strong urge, you got to name everything that you're experiencing. And the moment you name it, you just put a limiting description on it. You put a label on it. Well, what is a label? Well, it's just a enclosed vehicle, right? It's a limit, because beyond that label, it's no longer that thought. It's no longer that belief. It's something else, right? So you know there's a limit. And you limit yourself every time you label something. So training yourself to be aware of your breath as it expands, feeling every feeling in your body. Wiggle your toes. Make sure you feel the middle toe in your foot that's always forgotten. Wiggle your fingers. Notice the pressure on your butt as you're sitting in your chair. Notice the gentle breeze that touches your cheek or your hair. Yeah. And then besides feeling, notice what's in your observing, your visual field, your hearing, all of your senses. But again, without putting a label, resist that temptation to label it. Just learn to feel whatever's there to feel, to see whatever's there to see, hear whatever's there to see, taste, smell, using all your senses. When you achieve that state of being present, you notice something very profound happen. All that jabbering is gone. There's no sound of thoughts and the memories popping in and out. There's just silence. And then you hear something that most of us only hear very rarely, and that is the voice of inspiration, of intuition. And that is your true self revealing itself to yourself. Your true self revealing itself to your little self as the observer. And now your task is to become identified with your true self and not with those millions of thoughts that tend to rule you. And that's the moment when you start to assume the pilot seat, your throne, and you relegate the mind, where all your thoughts and beliefs and imagery and memories are stored, you relegate that to the role of the navigator. The way you create things is you, through inspiration, intuition, come up with what is to be your preferred experience. And then you give that what is to be to your mind, which is an aspect of you. It's not separate from you. It's just an aspect of you. And say, okay, mind, make it so. And mind's job is then to figure out how to take the unformed inspiration and form it into some preferred experience in life. And that, in a nutshell, is the process of creation. In the beginning, God, one universe, floating in eternity, formless, meaning no experience, no thoughts, because thoughts are formed something, right? No feelings. Could be regarded as kind of boring. And you want to have experience. So, what do? You say, let there be light. Let there be a world. Let us separate the heavens from the earth. Let there be creatures and plants and people and et cetera, et cetera. And we say, let's pretend as that being there, that human, that I forget who I am. Because otherwise, how can you have an authentic experience? Yeah. So you temporarily forget who you are. And he says, okay, I'm a limited human being, bag of flesh and bones, and I'm having dramas and experiences in life, and difficulties and challenges and problems to overcome, et cetera, et cetera. Until you start to waken up. And then you start to remember who you are. And in that process, you discover you can heal. Because that process of discovering who you are is healing, is becoming more whole. And that's where you reach out to seemingly others and recognize, oh, that's me over there. And as I heal myself, I heal the other, and we become more whole, more holy. So that is the core of the message that I share with those who are willing and able and open to that message. And those that resonate, come to me and work with me, and we both move towards healing.
Marianne, did you have something to say?
Thank you so much, Dr. Ward.
Mm-hmm.
What an honor to have you come on the World of Ability today and meet Kurt Roskoff too as well. Many of us, I'm in Mexico now. And so sorry for the latent stuff, but you're amazing. And I was there, and what an opportunity too as well to bring in the musicians and to send our messages out to each other. I learned so much more about myself. I got to interpret for a beautiful deaf man for over a decade, and how we can, bring these books in together with the sign language characters, especially with Lucy and her beautiful voice, where we got to perform it. And Suzanne Sims. Suzanne Sims and I are writing the fourth book. And I'm real honored that, it's a lot of work. It's tears of joy that people still want to work with you. You know what I mean? And it's awesome. And it was a great opportunity to visit Hawaii, stay in Hawaii, and to learn so much over there too, especially with the Unity Church of Hawaii. I did. I loved it. I loved it. I got to learn a little bit more, and I got to share with Kurt Raskoff, the world of ability, and everybody as well. So um, I can't thank you enough for being a presenter here to share this, and especially for Kurt and Sue. They're amazing people who continue to have this podcast every week. And, they have a job and a life too. They're educators too, but to hear a different perspective from everybody and to know what we've all done to come together. And it's amazing. And so, again, through our networks of happy neighborhood projects, transforming media, and all that, we can shine the light and let Kurt take it away, and we'll move forward from there. We want you back on this beautiful journey. And again, there's a picture of us on the website that I will never forget. And thank you so much. And tears of joy. I remember signing in front of them, everybody, and showing the whales and the dolphins and all that. And Scott, I worked for a sign language. Scott was deaf, and for him to hear and to move forward, I'm feeling like a tears of joy right now because it is. And we've all moved forward too. It was. You can look at the pictures and go from there. And I just really want to bring him an animation movie someday, some Dr. Ward. So we are the good news. And again, it's tears of joy, and we will bring it up upon aloha. I am Marian of Waikiki. I am in Mexico now, recovering from my surgery. So thank you so much, Dr. Ward. And I'm so really glad that you got to connect with Kurt Raskoff. He's an amazing, powerful person that does an amazing work in aloha.
Yeah, and I see Emily's there too, but hardly see her face. She's been in the darkness there. Just curious to see who was it that sent me the invitation.
Yeah. How long have you been doing what you've been doing, Dr. Ward?
Say again?
How long have you been doing what you've been doing? I mean, that was awesome.
Oh, well, the coaching, I guess the seeds were first planted in the early 1970s when I spent 1.5 years every day with the Course in Miracles. And before that, I was always a dreamer, always wondering about nature of people and animals. I always had a connection with people. Also, during that time in the early 1970s, I had a experience that really anchored everything. I was going to college at the time. I think I was about 19. And I came home one day, later afternoon. Nobody was home. I was living on the second floor of the home that I'm in now. And I'm walking down the darkened corridor. All the doors are closed. And I come to the end of the corridor, start reaching out for the doorknob to open the door to my bedroom. But before I could touch it, the doorknob vanished. It just disappeared. And then the door disappeared, and the house around me disappeared. And then the world around me disappeared, and then my own body disappeared. And I found myself floating in space, looking at what I could discern the stars and galaxies all around me, as if I was looking through eyes, but knowing there were no eyes to look through. It was a very strange sense of knowing. And then I realized I experienced the most profound silence and quiet beyond anything I could imagine. There was not a thought, there was not a feeling, there was not a sound, there was nothing. Just most absolute, profound, absolute silence. And as I'm floating there, I realized, oh, time doesn't exist. Time only seems to exist when the mind is in motion. And then I started to perceive these faintest of threads coming out from below my looking, where the heart would have been if there was a body. And it was sort of like, is there a thread or not? It was just the faintest of on and off shimmering light blue violet light color. And I would follow the threads, and each one's going to a different star and different galaxy. And I realized I was at the center of the entire universe. And then I realized, I know everything there is to know. From the beginning of time to the end of time, from the beginning of the universe to the end of the universe, I knew everything there was known. I wasn't thinking. There was no thought. It was a knowing. And so I'm flowing there in this little eternity. And then from somewhere below, as if there was a below, I perceived a bubble floating up towards eye level. And I had the sense that it's a thought bubble. And it came up here, and then it burst open, and a thought flooded my mind saying, what's happening? And instantly, I was there about to open the door. So that was I went in and sat for over an hour just trying to digest what I just experienced. But that was the first seed of, that's who I am. And the following decades has been a process of rediscovering, remembering who I am. And it's led me to where I am right now. So those are some of the key things that got me going on this process here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Kurt, are you there?
Is Kurt still with us here?
Kurt, are you still there? Do you have any questions, comments?
No, maybe he went off to lunch.
No, I'm working on activating my camera.
Hi, aloha again. I'm here. I just had some reconstructive stuff that's happening. So
I was just seeing we're just seeing if Kurt had any comments or questions here first, Marianne.
Okay, well, thank you, Dr. Ward. What an honor for you to shine the light. And I just want to highlight with you too. I went to Hawaii, visited, I stayed, and to do the most amazing things, people do shine the light. And what an opportunity it was. And for you to share this also too with Kurt and Emily, and to be on this podcast is such an honor, and such an honor of a colleague to do this for me. So thank you very much, Dr. Ward, and all that you've done. And, when you look, Kurt, and you guys look on the website, it was a long time ago, but Lucy and Suzanne and I, we had a lot of fun and got to still go out and play on that attic up there. And so thank you so much, and shine light. You always continue to educate us. We're always continuing learning. And I'll let Kurt take it away. He's an amazing person too. Aloha, I'm Marianne Waikiki, because I got to do some amazing things. So Kurt, go ahead.
Kurt, can you come back, please, before Marianne interrupted?
Emily. Oh my gosh, Emily.
So Kurt, do you have any questions?
I can't hear you.
So Kurt, do you have any questions while we're waiting for your camera? We can hear you. There we did.
No, now he's coming back.
So Emily, how are you doing?
Good. I just want to know if you had any questions, comments for Dr. Ward.
Well, Emily, I want to start with you.
I already asked my couple of questions, Kurt.
Are you okay, Emily?
No, but go ahead.
Okay. So Emily, what do you think of Dr. Ward here?
I think it's awesome. Can you please ask your questions, though?
Okay. Yeah, I'll ask Dr. Ward. We have our first.
Nope, looks like he froze up.
Hi, Rudy.
So I
Hi,
hope that
Rudy.
Leanne joins us too as well. I think over that Leanne joins us.
Yeah, Rudy.
Dr.
Marianne.
Ward, you're welcome to come back.
Marianne, Rudy
Dr.
is
Ward,
here.
you're welcome to-
Rudy is here too.
Okay.
But Kurt, can you answer your question since? Never mind. Hey, Rudy.
Well,
How about we talk about we want to welcome Rudy into this new venue. This is a new thing, Emily. And,
Rudy has an event.
We have our next guest speaker here. Emily,
right, Rudy has an event coming up this evening that he was going to talk about.
All right. Well, let me just say aloha to you all, and thanks for having me.
You know what, Dr. Ward? It was such an honor. And thank you so much for all the work that we have done in Aloha. And you sent amazing messages to everybody to listen to the world. Mahalo. Mahalo. And I know, yes, as well, too. Thank you.
Right. Aloha.
Rudy.
Howdy. How's it going, Emily? How's it going, Marianne?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Well, Rudy, welcome and aloha. And there you go. So it's a welcoming community. So what?
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. It's great to be here. I had some time to get to say hello. Yeah, so I have a really cool event coming up. It's at 5 p.m. Pacific time. It'll be for half an hour. And it is an event. Do what? Okay. Anyway, yeah, I have an event coming up at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is centered around financial literacy for families with neurodivergent loved ones, as well as neurodivergent entrepreneurs. I'm really stoked about it. Only going to be for half an hour. It's going to be a little quick one. The things we're going to go over some of the basics of financial literacy. We're going to talk a little bit about how it can impact families with neurodivergent loved ones. Also, myself being a neurodivergent entrepreneur, I'm going to speak about some of the unique challenges we face being neurodivergent when it comes to money. And yeah, I'm really excited to be doing that event this evening with a very dear friend of mine. Her name's Nancy Cotton. She's out of Texas. She's absolutely incredible and very passionate about the neurodivergent community as well. So yeah, we're going to be doing that together.
So is this only going to be once a month, or are you going to have it as more of a regular, like once a month or whatever kind of a thing?
I feel like it's going to be fairly frequent. The last one happened was in July. We're doing one right now. Let me grab the Eventbrite link for it.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know how often you guys were going to have it. Because I know it's been a while since you guys did one, so I didn't know.
Yeah, I will definitely grab the Eventbrite link. I'll throw that in the chat for you guys. And yeah, we're getting quite a few registrations, which is always good. Free event, really good information. It's going to be very, very quick and to the point. And yeah, it's going to be very exciting. I really believe financial literacy is one of the most important things we can teach. We unfortunately don't teach it nearly enough in schools. And we don't talk about it as a culture either. So there's many, many aspects of that I could talk about because I'd be doing that all day if I did. But yeah, it's going to be a solid event, and we're going to be we're going to pour a lot of heart into it.
Right. Well, how's business been going lately? How's life in general?
Things been going good. I now have 3 businesses.
3.
It's funny how that works. And, when things come in front of you, the universe puts something in front of you. It's usually there for a reason. I found that out quite often in my life. If something's put in front of me, there's almost always a reason for it. And I always say yes, because I think when opportunity presents itself, sometimes you just got to reach out and take it. And my second business, I help, in addition to my first business, that's financial literacy. My second business is centered around small business empowerment and resources. I can help with 2 powerful business tools. The first one being I can assist with research and development tax credits. It's nice to be able to help a business owner find some money. And the second of which is I can help with a very unique health benefit solution. And the way that works is if a company has 10 or more full-time W-2 employees, it can be a net savings to the employer as well as a net pay raise to the employees. that's pretty powerful because, oh, look, now they'll have some health benefits. They'll have a little more in their paychecks. The employer will have some money that they can reinvest into their business and into their employees. So that's could be quite powerful, quite impactful. My third business I just got into, I got into the health and wellness space because I realized that all this money talk is awesome, but if we don't have our health, that makes things a lot harder. So I partnered with the World Authority in the health and wellness industry, and we're working with a breakthrough technology to help people be healthier at a cellular level. Because the old saying goes, health is wealth is 100% true. So I'm doing that too.
Awesome. Garrett, do you have any questions, comments? Or Rudy, while he's here? Or not at the moment. But thank you for joining us today, Rudy.
My pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure. I will hopefully see you guys there, and I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, how are your kitties keeping you in line?
Oh yeah, I'm genuinely surprised that they're not in here right now, because usually when I'm on Zoom, they'll be like, "Oh look, Dad's on a Zoom meeting. Let's jump on the desk and run around and cause all sorts of
Want to
havoc."
be on camera too?
Oh, that's happened more times than I can count. Yeah, it's a very common occurrence. Yeah, if they're not on the desk, I'm thinking they're probably sleeping or they're getting in trouble in the other room. So it's quite amusing, actually. Yeah.
So, what kind of inspired you to? Well, I think everybody already sort of know the answer to this question. But what sort of kind of inspired you to get into finance or like start this thing with Nancy? Like how did all this get started?
It's interesting getting into the financial services industry. I had no real intention of it. When I lost my dream job during the pandemic, I had some time to think about what I wanted to do in my life, and I just kind of like saying, okay, well, who am I? What do I actually want to do in the world? I know I'm going to have to go back to work eventually, so what am I supposed to do? I didn't really want to do a 9-to-5 again because I was like, not very fulfilling for me. So I joined a bunch of networking events. I was going to see what people were doing. I said, okay, the world's very different now. Let's see what people are up to. So I joined a bunch of networking events all across I guess you could say all across the country. And I met some really cool people, many, many different industries. And what ended up happening is a very bubbly and vivacious woman came into my sphere, and we had a 5-minute one-on-one, and she told me she teaches people how money works. And that intrigued me because that was very different than everything else I'd heard. And I was like, it's interesting. We should talk. I'm kind of curious about that. And we started talking. We became best friends very, very quickly. And she taught me a lot about me as well, which I didn't expect. That was awesome. And I realized that this could be something really important, something impactful. So what ended up happening is I got an education I didn't think I needed, which it blew my mind. And it made me really mad because I realized, well, wait, shouldn't I have learned this stuff in school? Well, I didn't. I learned long division. I have yet to use it. I learned algebra. I have yet to use that. I learned ancient Greek history. That was interesting. I have yet to use that. I did use geometry a while back though to figure out the volume of a cylinder and figure out how many gallons of water my well held. That was useful. Pi radius squared times height. Yay! I actually used that. But I was very intrigued by the impact because I felt very empowered after that conversation I had. I said, wow, this is a big deal. I feel like I just learned so much in such a short time that I could actually use in my future. This is really cool. And I started thinking, well, I can get paid for this? Like I can get paid to help people like this? Like this is interesting. I need to know more about this because it really aligned with who I am as a person and what I want to accomplish. I want to have a generational impact in people's lives, not just transactional. Here, buy a car, buy a truck, buy a cell phone, yada, yada, yada. I want to do something more meaningful than that. And I realized, well, if I help somebody's grandfather secure their retirement, that means their son's going to be okay, or their daughter's going to be okay, and their grandkids are going to be okay. And what, the next 100, 150 years, that families might just be okay, or better than that even. That's impact that will outlast me. And when that kind of like started swirling in my head, it really went from my head to my heart. I said, oh my God, this is a really big thing. I can help people the way I've always wanted to. And it can make a difference in people's lives that's truly meaningful. And, oh, look, I get paid for it too. That's kind of cool. And I fell in love. I knew this is what I was supposed to do with my life. And I tell people this all the time, that losing my dream job was the best thing to ever happen to me. And it truly was, because it allowed me to expand my vision a little bit. It allowed me to dream. It allowed me to really assess, okay, what do I want to do in my life? Who do I want to become? And it was just the coolest thing, because I really started thinking about, oh, wow, I can make a difference in the world. Even though I'm living in a town of 10,000 people, I can talk to 100 million people. That's kind of cool. I can have the impact I've always wanted to have, because this little thing called the internet, and networking events and Zooms and podcasts and events and all this stuff. And then I end up meeting great people like Nancy, awesome woman. She lives out of Texas, very passionate about the neurodivergent community. And it's like, hey, I'm neurodivergent too.
Yeah.
Tell me what you do. Tell me about that. Tell me about that. And we became best friends very quickly. I said, wow, so you're like an autism advocate also. That's awesome. I teach financial literacy. I have autism too. Let's see how we can weave those together, because I realized in my own experiences that I had an interesting relationship to money when I was growing up. And I didn't understand that about me until rather recently. And I realized, wait a minute, I bet people who are neurodivergent like me might be having the same challenges, the same unique aspects of their financial life. And oh, look, I've just found a partner that we can both talk about it. Oh, this is awesome. And we became best friends very quickly, and we realized that we could do something really cool together. And as a Nancy, we're gonna do some really cool stuff. Let's host some events together. Let's partner up and make a difference. And I'm so excited, because she's the kind of person that I really was, in a way, looking forward to spread the message farther to my specific demographic, because then we can speak in our own ways and be able to help people that need help the most, but they don't necessarily know where to turn for it. So, I mean, yeah, they could talk to financial people, but they might not necessarily understand how our brains are wired a little bit differently. We have unique challenges. We have unique aspects of ourselves that can make our financial journeys a little bit different. And to have people like Nancy and myself speaking to that community, to that demographic, I feel like will cause a lot of really positive shifts in not just communities, but in mindsets and hearts. And on the other end of it, the tactical side of it is people like us. We can have more hope for our financial futures, because we have people that understand how our brains work, and we can be spoken to in a way that resonates with us, so we can make better decisions for our futures. So I'm really, really excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it could help a lot of people.
Yeah, I wish I had somebody talking to me 20 years ago the way I talk to people, because I think that's the thing too. It's like, we don't know we can have advocates in our lives. And that's the thing. It's like, if I knew 20 years ago what I know now, I'd be talking to all my friends in high school, be like, guys, we're going to be graduating high school. We got to get some stuff taken care of. But I figure the next best thing is doing what I'm doing right now, and being able to say, hey guys, here's some things I wish I learned 20 years ago. I'm going to teach you guys. And that could start people on the path to not just financial independence, because that's one part of it. But the other part of that is inner peace. Like, oh man, things are actually going to be okay. Yeah. And then people can go through life with a sense of calm and comfort and empowerment, understanding, because I set everything up right, we're going to be okay. We have everything taken care of. If life throws us a curveball, we're ready for it. Because they spent a little bit of time getting a little bit of knowledge and empowerment and having a few little discussions with somebody like myself or Nancy or anybody else I have. So I have several people doing this with me. But, oh, now I know what to do. Yeah, that's why we're here. Literally what we do. So that honestly, that is the most exciting part of it. It really is, because that's what I really strive to give people in their lives, is to say, hey, I have some important things we need to know that I wish I knew. But now I can teach you, because now I was taught. And it's being able to have that level of lasting impact that honestly, it fuels my day, where I can have, go to 5 networking events in a day, or have a day where I start at 8 and I end at 8, and I say, you know what, that was a really good day. I sleep well at night. I have some long days, but I'm so grateful to be able to get to do that and be able to put my voice out there, pour my heart out there, saying, hey, by the way, I have some things we all need to know that I wish I knew, wish my parents knew. But I'm here for you. And I tell people that all the time, I'm here for you. There's no judgment. I've probably been where you've been anyway, so it's all good. I can relate. And it's giving people a sense of comfort. And I think that's probably one of the best things about this, is it's helping people understand that where they're at's okay. Well, let's get you to where you really want to go. But it starts with education first. So that's why I do a lot of what I do. And helping business owners too, I really want to say, hey, there's aspects of business that I can assist with besides just the tangibles of, oh, here's some cool stuff for you, the business owner. But you know what? Let's do things for your employees. Let's give them a complimentary financial needs masterclass for your whole company, courtesy you, the boss. What do you think that's going to do for your company image? What do you think that's going to do for your community impact? What do you think that's going to do for your employees? They're going to love you. It's going to make a big difference in the community you serve. Let's do that, because financial literacy masterclasses, presentations, all that fun stuff I can do. We can do events like the one me and Nancy are doing. That's going to be awesome. And at the end of the day, it's making a difference. And one of the many reasons why I do what I do.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The crusade of mine. Just to give you a heads up, I do have to run in about 4 minutes, just so you know.
4 minutes, okay. Well, thank you for coming on here. It's awesome.
Pleasure. I'm glad. I actually had a little bit of extra time. I had a meeting. I wasn't sure if it was going to go to 11:45 or 12, and I was able. It went for a little longer than 11:45, and I had a little bit extra time. So I'm like, oh, I'll hop on a little early and say hello.
So always good.
Yeah, definitely. How things been going on with you? Lots of things going on.
Yeah, it's been busy with all the other podcasts, and with the other events that we're helping with.
Nice.
With the Easy Expo virtual booth event, and with the holiday event that's going to be over Christmas.
Oh, very cool.
And that's the one, so it's all good.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, it's I have lots of things I'm working on over the next 3 to 6 months, both in the event space and in just the overall impact space. I have lots of things I'm doing. Pretty excited about them, and I'm really excited for the rest of this year and next year especially. I think there's going to be lots and lots of good things coming up next year that are going to be very exciting, and the whole new year.
Yeah. Where'd this year go?
Yeah, I know, this year flew by. I was a little surprised. I'm like, whoa, it's November. What? Almost bordering on December. It's what happened. When I turned 38, I was like, what happened to 37? I feel like I had turned 37 3 months ago and it was gone. I'm like, oh, wow. Yikes. And when I turned 36, I realized I'd graduated my high school half my life ago.
Oh,
That
wow.
hit me kind of weird. I was like, ah, jeez. I
That's
graduated high
isn't that
school
weird?
half my life ago. Ugh,
That seems
that
like a
was
long time ago.
yeah. And I was like, geez, that it just hit me weird. I'm like, whoa, where'd that time go? And yeah, I swear it's just like a few years ago I graduated high school, yada yada yada. I was like, no, that was half your lifetime ago, dude. I'm like, you know, I tell people this is, you know, it's never too late to try something new. It's never too late to do something different. You know, most of my 20s I was just kind of finding myself, and don't have comparitis. Don't compare your chapter 2 to somebody's chapter 20. You're writing your own book. You're making your own chapters.
All right.
Do what you want to do. So this is awesome, Emily. Glad to be able to hop on. I'm sure I'll run into you and Kurt again very soon. Seems like we always do. And yeah, looking forward to this event, and hopefully see you guys there.
Sounds good. Thank you, Rudy.
Awesome. Take care, guys. Have a good one.
All right, everybody. So yeah, I was just saying we have a few events coming up in the next month here. The Easy Expo event on December 5th and the Miracle of a Community That Cares event over Christmas. The 24th through the 26th. And would love everybody to, which is a 37-hour event, would love everybody to join us for either of those things. And the December 5th event is about connected to our Easy Expo event, or platform, I should say. That is a year-round virtual booth that was created by somebody out in California. They went to the Happy Neighborhood Project, and so you're gonna have it's like having a booth at a conference. However, this is virtual and year-round, only lasting a day or two, or however long the particular conference lasts. Gonna have videos, your logo, links to websites, social media, and so on. You can have announcements, things like that. And for the event, we are going to demo the platform, as well as having several speakers talking about what they're doing. And it's from noon to 6 Central on Thursday, December 5th. And I'd love to join us. You can demo it. If you'd like to have a booth set up, you can set a booth up then as well. And I guess so just talking about it, I can bring it up here. But yeah, I would encourage everybody to go to Rudy's event as well. I have the link. Share the link in the thing afterwards. But I am going to Share my screen here. The expo, if I could bring it up here. Maybe. Garrett, while you bring this up, do you have anything you have to say at the moment? Here.
Yeah, Emily, how you doing?
I was just gonna bring up. I was talking a little bit about December 5th. I was gonna share screen here with ability. Easy expo, but there's thing you want to come on camera and talk about. Feel free.
Well, what's coming up?
Oh,
Talking
yeah.
about is the
Oh,
expo.
yeah, I was just gonna start the screen, but here's Santa. Welcome, Santa.
Hello, Miss Emily. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Nobody else here.
There's few people here. Yeah, we just had Rudy who couldn't stay around very long, but we had a few people. We're lucky enough to. But Carrie, you come on here. Say anything to Santa? But how's life with Santa today?
Good, good. Had a really good meeting with a gentleman that's got some big groups going, and he's got some really interesting ideas.
Well, that's good.
Yep. Been retired for 20 years and out of the corporate world, and now he's helping out where he can with people and groups. He loved. We had a great conversation and loved some of my ideas. And he said, "Let me know how I can help." And I went, "Cool, just promote me."
Yeah. So how's the veteran list and stories and TikTok and things going for everything?
Well, let's start off with I started reading stories on Wednesday on the new platform, Be Connected.
Oh, okay.
And,
Awesome.
had a good group out for that. It wasn't huge, but it was a good group, and there were some kids that were able to ask me some questions. So yeah, that was very interesting and very fun. I'll be doing that again this Wednesday, and we'll see where that's going to go. Signing some more people up to the veteran list on Facebook and more on the website. So it's growing slowly as the word gets out. Like I've told a few people, I'll be really promoting that the new year to see where we can take it and see how many people we can get signed up to that and see how we can help the veterans. Santa's got lots of in-person stuff booked here for the next month, so won't be doing many Saturdays after next weekend.
That's in pictures with kids, or like what kind of in-person things?
Yeah, so it'll be busy. It'll be interesting. It'll generate some cash flow, which is always nice.
Yeah. How's Mrs. Claus?
Good. She's up babysitting some grandchildren for 4 or 5 days. So I just got off the phone with her before I got on here with you, and she's doing good. Teenagers.
Oh boy.
Teenagers really work your brains and your patience.
Yeah, they can.
So yeah, I'll have to go pick her up on Monday. So I'll have to miss a few meetings that are scheduled for Monday. You know, it is what it is. Mom and Dad were able to go down to Phoenix, fly down to Phoenix to watch the oldest one graduate from motorcycle school. So that was pretty awesome. And he sent Grandma pictures 2 weeks ago with a pin. And then he called her and said, Grandma, did you look at the picture I sent you? She said, yeah, I see the pin. What does it mean? He had the highest grades in his class.
Wow.
That's pretty
That's
awesome.
awesome. Good for him.
And he is moving out to Oregon with the girlfriend and coming back to Minnesota to be around Mom and Dad. So
Okay.
Mom's not too thrilled about that one.
Hopefully they'll come visit.
Oh, yeah. So what's going on in your world?
Well, if you've been visiting with all the podcasts and different things, so how are things going with Zach's event, the holiday event?
Other than I'm talking to him the other day, it sounds like he's got some things in the group. I haven't had a chance to talk to him since. And that's coming together slowly. And, you know, we're gaining some traction on it. I got to do a video for him tonight, so that'll be in the wings. Once getting on TikTok, getting traction on TikTok. Almost hit 78,000. So hopefully we'll hit 78,000 tonight. On the mission to 100,000 before Christmas.
Oh boy. Gary, there? Get down here.
So one step at a time, one goal at a time.
Yeah.
You know, all the fun stuff, right? Other than that, just meeting with people, chatting with people, sending messages, relaying messages, doing videos. You know, what I've been doing for the last year already.
Yeah. And almost Christmas. We're just
31 days.
31 days. Oh well.
31 days. Yep. Holy moly.
Okay. Karen,
Yeah, ready.
Karen, are you there?
Must be busy.
Okay, multitasking. But just all good. So is the Wednesday thing gonna be like an every week thing now? On the Be Connected?
Yeah, every Wednesday at 7 till Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll see where it goes. And my group is growing there slowly, but I'm impressed already at how many people are there already. So, you know, like I say, one step at a time, one door opening at a time, and we'll promote it and we'll grow it and we'll have some fun.
Yeah.
I can't do, right?
Yeah.
So,
have you well, just kind of been with family. They're not huge plans. Like
you don't have a big family, Emily?
not a huge family. So there's nothing big, like not like traveling out somewhere or anything, but just going being homeless. Um, do, do you have any big plans for Turkey Day?
We're gonna have a whole house full.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh, you are 15, I think.
Oh well, that's quite a few.
But the thing is, the son-in-law is a professional chef, so Becky doesn't have to do any of the cooking.
Oh boy, I'm sure she's might be happy about that.
Yeah. So usually deep fries a turkey out in the driveway.
Oh well.
So he's done that for the last couple of years, and man, very, very juicy and tender.
That's good.
Oh,
So you had
holy.
getting many people to get Santa approved lately, or
Not
anything
as
like
many as I was hoping for, but I managed to get another one yesterday. So,
oh yeah.
you know, it'll keep adding and it'll keep going. And, you know, I can't expect it to, you know, be 500 or 1,000 people overnight. It's going to be an ongoing positive mission, I think. But, you know, I'm starting to, now that I've got my trademark approved, that should help boost some people's confidence in me as well. So, you know, just keep plugging along one at a time. That's all we can do, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, it's awesome that I got trademarked.
sorry.
Yeah, but I'm glad that I got the trademark.
Yeah.
Trademark thing.
When I filed the paperwork, they said it was going to be 8 to 10 months. Even before they would even look at it, and they got it done in 6.
Oh well.
When I explained, when that lady that I worked with, she helped me. She said, "Well, think about this way: if you know, Bob is the investigator to approve or disprove. Of course, he does all kinds of investigatings and checks things out. Now he just finishes up a file, and he has three big next files in front of him. One's 1,500 pages, one's 2,000 pages, one's 700 pages, and then there's mine that's 3 pages. Which one is he going to try and get done first?
Right.
Eliminate the numbers, right?" And she said, I'm not saying it could happen, but you know, the reality is, if it was me, if it was most normal people, they would eliminate the 3-page one first versus the 1,500 page.
Right.
So, you know, I'm thinking that is what happened, and I got lucky, and so I will be. I'm not complaining. I'll take that one all the way to the bank. So it was nice.
Yeah.
I just got to get a little circle with a TM on my badge somewhere. So that'll be the next step I get done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Have you heard how grandbaby's doing? Here's
what?
how your grandbaby is doing?
Doing good. Daughter put some pictures on the line the other day, so that's awesome. Doing good. I said, got all 10 fingers and toes. Yeah, that's good.
Right.
Yeah. Some people think that's important, and well, you know, you gotta keep moving along.
Yeah.
Other than that,
So, do you wanna I don't know if remind is the right word. Remind people how they would get Santa approved, or about what Zach's event is about or anything like that?
Oh, well, Zach's event is 37 hours that we're collaborating with, and he's doing the majority of the work so far. But he's come up with this great idea. It's going to be 37 hours over the Christmas Day and Christmas Eve, all about, because Christmas starts a lot sooner for a lot of other people around the world. So this idea is to celebrate Christmas with, soldiers and military people that are, and EMTs and firefighters and truck drivers that are all forced to work on Christmas Day and they can't be near their family. We're going to give them a public opportunity to share some videos to their families, and I'm going to read some stories to some families. So there's some sponsorship available for that. And he's got some other ideas for, donating books into hospitals, and worked with another Santa from UK. So he is an author of some children's books, so he'll be reading some of those. So there's lots of multitude different things going on with that. As the word spreads on about that, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a good thing. It's going to open up a lot of eyeballs to a lot of different people. Oh, and Kurt ran away. So
Awesome. So how does one get Santa approved, or how does one get Santa like read a story or anything like that for them?
Santa approved is a pretty simple process, but I had to. You go to my website, you find the link that says Santa approved, and then there's 6 questions on there. Of course, because I wanted to eliminate, the drugs and the alcohol and the cigarettes and the lawyers. We don't want lawyers.
Right.
So then you fill out those questions and you pay the fee. We have another little interview where I record it, and then I officially welcome you to being Santa approved. So it's an interesting little concept that's growing, not by leaps and bounds, but people are liking the idea, and we'll keep building a list slowly and see where it goes. The marketing people are thinking it's an incredible idea, so I just got to create the right vibe for people and the right positive, what's the word I'm looking for? Value that people are looking for when they're going to pay a subscription.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the other thing that I've got going is the Warriors Beacon of Hope. And that one's another whole different website to help find services for our veterans. I'm very perturbed with when you talk to veterans and they say, oh, I'm on the list, and it's going to be 6, 8, 10 months before I can get services. They didn't hesitate to sign on their dotted line. Why do they get treated like second-rate citizens when they come back? I'm not saying the VA is totally not negligent. Some people are happy with the services that they get, and some people are definitely not. So I just going to create a list to give people an alternative choice for providing ideas to have a choice that the veterans can get services.
Okay, so how does a veteran get their name on this list? For people?
Veterans don't need to be on the list. Companies need to be.
Okay, so how does the company get themselves in?
Just go to the website and it
Okay.
says sign up here. And
Okay.
they'll be taken to a Google form where they can fill out who they are, what they do, what services they provide for veterans. And that one's a whopping $10 a month. So then they fill that form out, pay the fee, and we'll get them on the list. And now I'm generating where this list is going to be proposed. And as it grows, there's going to be different things, like it's broken down statewide.
Okay.
So there's going to be things added to the website. Like someone said, there needs to be a search engine, and there needs something for the veterans to actually sign up to say they were there, so we can show the businesses how many people, how many veterans are showing up for the site. So, I'm learning as I'm going, and I'm taking suggestions from people to show different ideas, and as the concept builds, take it one step at a time.
Right.
So, and of course, Santa's stories are starting to generate some interest. I've got to record 2 of them today. I'm excited about that. Where Santa reads a story to your family, and it's personalized for your family because your children or your grandchildren's names are actually going to be inputted into the story.
That's
So
awesome.
people are loving that idea because it's creating a wonderful family memory that they'll be able to share with their family and friends for quite a few years.
Yeah, that's awesome. So then, does the family get a copy of the story that you read?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I put it up on YouTube, and the video and they get the only link to it. So it's not out in public, especially when you start talking children and children's names. I don't want, the creeps getting a hold of children's names. So
Yeah.
put it on the platform on a hidden link, so then the families get to share it with whoever they want to.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
So yeah, lots in the pipeline, lots of things happening. And, we'll create awareness for different people as they see, and we'll start sharing it around the world to create some more happiness.
And are we getting?
Big thanks going out to Mr. Kurt. He's sharing some links when I'm live on TikTok. So he even said hi the other night, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Kurt, are you there to say hi? Or no? I don't know. But anyway, how's the is the happy birthday thing catching
They
on?
didn't catch on as much as I thought they would.
Oh,
I did more. So this year it's I've done a few, but not as many as I thought. I'm not going to get excited about it. People will start seeing it and start realizing what I'm doing. And I just got to start sharing and getting the word out there that, I do these different services for families and businesses.
Yeah.
So that's about what I got going on.
And then I hear that you are going to be on my friend John Peters' show coming up here
Yes,
soon
I'm
too.
going to send him a message. I just booked an in-person visit for the time when that ends, so I'm going to have to change my time with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So can you send him a message? Because I can send him a message that we need to reschedule.
I can send him a message too if you'd like.
Yeah.
Or remind him or something, yeah. And have him reach out to you or something. But yeah, making their own stuff.
Well,
Yeah, also be awesome to have your own.
When someone books you for a home visit, or this one's a business visit for 2 hours, and then I went, oh crap, I'm scheduled for John at 4 and this starts at 5, so that's not going to work. So thank you for reminding me.
So is it somebody like out of town, or is it?
No, this one's actually in town.
Oh, in town. Okay. Well, that makes things easier then. If it's right in town then.
Yeah.
For travel purposes. But I hope that goes well.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, she didn't even look at my price, so that was kind of cool because
Oh wow.
normally I don't get local stuff because I'm quite a bit price higher than the other guys that are doing it.
Yeah.
So. But it'll be fun. They're excited.
That's good.
So other than that, so if I wouldn't have shown up, would you have kept this thing going all by yourself for an hour? 2 hours? Because you said you had someone on earlier.
Yeah, we got a few people on a little bit ago, like shortly before you came on, so yeah, I've kept it going for a little while anyway.
I see. That can be a little tough sometimes.
Yeah, but appreciate that you came on. Yes, it's been awesome.
Definitely, what, 40 minutes already? Almost. I got on here about 20 after, I think. Oh, almost half an hour. So, thank you for all the stuff that you do.
You're welcome.
Even for my stuff and for this stuff, and you keep the platform.
And then yes, to let everybody know, remind everybody that Santa has a show that he does every first and third Monday of the month. That for those to have everybody join us. But I think our next one it might be December 2nd, so at 5 o'clock Central. So I'd love to have everybody join us for that. So does anyone want to say a little bit about your show or anything like that?
Well, it hasn't taken off as much as I thought it would be, but we've had some really good meetings and we've had some wonderful conversations. That's for sure. Like a lot. Two times ago, we had almost 9 people on there, and we had some great roundtable discussions about not only about Santa and Christmas, but other ideas as well. It was a very positive idea, celebration of sharing great ideas, and that's the power of networking right there, is when you can share different ideas around a round table.
Yeah. Yeah, sharing what's going on and getting networking and helping each other.
Absolutely. you know, so we'll keep it going and we'll generate some great chats with some different people. So first and third Monday at 5 p.m. Central, right here on this channel, right, Emily, on this
Yep.
channel.
Yep.
Yeah. First and third Monday. So we call it Networking with Santa or Santa's VIP. And, you know, reach out, join the conversation, and come and have some fun. We even have some giggles and laughs in there, don't we?
Yep. So it's a good to giggle on that.
Yeah. So there, I just sent John a message and he seems to be online. So other than that, you know, the videos are getting ordered and the videos are being made.
That's always good.
Fills my day up, and then of course I network with quite a few different groups during the week. My days are pretty packed these days. And then of course I'm getting on TikTok 4 nights a week for about 2 hours or 3 hours sometimes a night. I'm gonna go on there early tonight. See what kind of characters I can have a chat with tonight. And you know the cool part, Emily, is the last couple of weeks there's been a lot of parents coming online and bringing their 2 and 3 and 4-year-olds on with them.
Oh, well,
When I
interesting.
actually bring them on to chat with them live. So that's pretty cool that, you know, I'm getting mom and dads involved in watching what they're allowing their children to watch and participate in.
All right.
Because there's a lot of kids coming on my chat that 8, 9, 10 years old and yep. Gonna get in trouble for talking? No. I do this all day long. Like holy moly. They've got no life other than what they're looking at that screen. That's not a good thing for our world, but yeah, it's kind of interesting the fact that I want a new computer, I want a new tablet, they want an iPhone 16. It's like these kids don't even know how to use it, they don't know the value of it. But you know, just get it for because it's free, right?
Yeah.
Santa's bringing it to me, not. And I tell them, no, I don't bring phones. You got to get them from mom and dad. Well, mom and dad can't afford it. Well, there's a reason why they can't afford it.
Right.
Yeah. Holy moly. I mean, I had one kid last night. I want an iPhone 16. I want a new tablet. I want a new PC. And I want, what are the headsets that they put on now?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can add that. I think I know what you mean, though.
Is it Oculus?
Something along those lines, I think. Yeah.
That's one of the names for them. But, I mean,
Yeah, I'll take
there's
note.
almost $10,000 right there. Boom.
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, this is what I'm asked for. Can you bring it to me? Get a grip, kid. Yeah. A lot of people are going to go broke if they have to bring you those every year.
Right.
Oh, I dropped it and not a big deal. You know, I mean, we were all young at one time, but my Tonka truck, when I dropped it and broke it, was only $10. What these kids are asking for is tens of thousands.
Right. Yeah. So it costed a lot more than what things used to.
Oh yeah, holy moly. Crazy, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, young lady. I'm going to jump out on you here a little bit early. We had a good conversation, and hopefully we were able to, you know, if some people watch the replay or hear this, maybe they'll get a hold of you or get a hold of me, and we'll be able to stir up some kind of conversation.
Great. Sounds good.
So,
Thank you, Santa.
all right. Thanks, Emily. Later, Kurt, if you're listening.
All right, everybody. I think we are getting close to the end of the show here. So I'd like to thank everybody for who joined us today. Santa and Rudy and Marianne, Dr. Ward, and yeah, we are here every Saturday at 1 o'clock Central, and I'd love to have all of you join us. Whenever your schedule allows, time between 1 and 3 Central, and to check out all of our social media of LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and so on, and to like, share, subscribe, comment, and so on, and so I'd like to encourage everybody to check out other organizations that we are working with, such as J and the Disability Channel, Marcus Hart of Transforming Media, Lauren Swingate of Wednesday Studios, Earl Williams of the Midwest Plants and Podcast, Zach Clayton of the Pack Channel, and all of the great work that they're doing. And as everybody did join us on our other shows as well, but as part of the network, there's the show, PDH Mission Monday with Project I Heard, the Ask Me Bridge Show, World of Pets, Mastery of Connections, Ability MK Now, GDC Today Show, Revolutionizing Marketing, South City Marketing MA, the Blue Collar Crypto Show, World of Nutrition, Listen Program, and so on. So I'd like to see you in any of our shows as well. Or check out any of them, or on any of their events, like the Easy Expo event on December 5th, or the Miracle of a Community That Cares over Christmas, and things like that. So I guess until next time, I hope everybody has a safe and productive week, and to stay happy.
And hold on, Emily, you're not ending it there, are you?
What do you got, Kurt?
I got 5 more minutes of production time. That's what I got. What do you got?
I have about like 2 minutes. Do you have anything else at the moment?
What's going on in 2 minutes?
I think I might have a meeting about conference.
You might. So why don't we cover it live, and let's cover the, the potential here. Let's work on verification and transfer off when you have verification if you got your meeting or not.
So what I was referring to was the Integral Conference, which I'm on the planning committee for. It's a yearly conference, usually in the fall, like October, November, end of October, early November. Then is hosted by the Autism Society of South Central Wisconsin. And it is a conference about kind of bringing together the disability channel, or not the disability channel, the disability community, and the non-disability community together, to be able to have work together and so on. Well, here is Miss Barbara. Hi, Barbara. If you're there, that is.
Yeah, now I'm unmuted. It's really good to see you. I'm so sorry about the time. I was just cleaning the kitchen, taking I don't know, and all this time went by.
No worries. We're glad you're here. Did you anything you like to? How's everything going? Did you have lately? Did you have anything you wanted to let us know about or anything like that?
Yeah, and yeah, I got to tell you that I just spent 3 weeks with my grandchildren, and I'm possibly going back the first week of December, and the next 2 weeks I'm supposed to do a closing on this house, selling this house, without knowing where we're going. That's too crazy, but we're doing it that way. And what I want to share with people is I'm realizing, because I saw it with my daughter when she was like overwhelmed. They talk about, like, in the military, that the saddest thing is when you see your friend, your buddy, take on this fey expression, and it's like, they're just killing the enemy, and they're not there. Their eyes are just, it's like nobody's behind the eyes that are doing this killing. And I think that if we start, like, not being afraid to connect, trying to understand what that is, and trying to connect that with other violent problems in the world, like between mothers and children, husbands and wives, where you have that kind of disconnect. You're disconnected from what's beautiful in life.
Right.
And that I kind of hope to go on with my education so that I can try to do research and put these understandings together, where they're coming from different places. Well, this is a soldier coming out of war. Well, this is a young mother who just had 3 children in a row. And, trying to, like, keep control, and this amazing movie called The Reader. which is a true story about the woman in Germany that let people burn in a building when she had a key and she could have let them out, you know, and what was going on with her at that time. And I'm excited because I see where these problems come together, and there seems to be some solutions to it. Actually, medical solutions there are, and of course, I prefer community solutions. You know, where people have people around them that care, that see what's happening. Because a lot of people don't want to see things that are upsetting or scary. You know, to choose like not to see it. My girlfriend said people have like virgin eyes and ears, you know. But oh, I never heard that. I never saw that. Even though you know that they did, you know. They were there when, you know, when that thing happened. So I'm kind of, I feel like I'm rambling a little bit. This is like, it's a good time to rest. I think between 3 and 4. I heard some psychologists say that's when you should see a happy rom-com, you know, a happy movie with your family, a Disney movie, something, you know, for the whole family to get together and just be able to relax like that at this time in the day would be smart. There might be something to that. I don't know. Do you watch yourself, like, you know, when you get hungry or when you get tired during the day? Are you able to, you're doing such good work